The U.S. Supreme Court will not put Virginia's case against President Obama's health care reform on the fast track. The justices rejected the request by Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli to resolve questions about the law's constitutionality. The Obama administration argued the case should work its way through the appeals process before reaching the nation's top court. It is rare for the Supreme Court to step into a legal fight before the appeals court. Cuccinelli said he was disappointed but not surprised by the move. It could still reach the Supreme Court by next summer. Joining us now for more is Jordan Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice. The ACLJ is challenging Obamacare with its own federal lawsuit. Jordan, why did Ken Cuccinelli want the Supreme Court to hear the case now rather than wait for it to go through the system?
There's a couple of reasons. One, as most in the legal community have predicted, the Supreme Court is pretty conservative right now, at least a 5-4 conservative majority, which means the quicker the Obamacare legal challenges get there, the better it is for those of us who are opposed to this government-run healthcare system and the law that was passed and is starting to go into effect. And that's part of the second reason. Now that the law is starting to go into effect and the full implementation is in 2014, states are also having to spend millions of dollars beginning to comply with that. And Governor McDonnell in Virginia said one reason he had hoped that the Supreme Court took this on a fast track was that he's going to have to spend millions of taxpayer dollars just in Virginia to start implementing the individual mandate, which is the legal issue here. So that's the couple of reasons why Attorney General Cuccinelli tried to get this fast track. But I will say that legally and in that Supreme Court world, it's very difficult. So we weren't shocked that isn't going to happen. There is good news, though. These cases have been fast-tracked in the lower courts. So the Supreme Court should still be able to decide on this if everything stays on track by next summer.
Okay, well, will this make it harder to overturn the law once it does reach the high court?
If this fast-track method, which has happened through the district courts, now they're going to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, the Virginia challenge, the next level of oral arguments begins in May. If that stays on track, the Supreme Court will still have plenty of time to decide this before the law's full implementation. Certainly some aspects of Obamacare are already going to effect, but I still feel very confident unless there is a shakeup or a change at the U.S. Supreme Court in the makeup of the justices, that we will carry the day if we're before the court as it stands right now.
Now, Jordan, the ACLJ's case against Obamacare charges that it actually violates the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. How does that mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting part of our legal challenge right here in Washington, D.C. that has not been talked about as much. The individual mandate challenge is the top constitutional challenge, and that's part of our lawsuit as well. But the religious freedom argument is a bit of a new one. We represent 5 individuals here in Washington, D.C. that have filed. And they're saying, listen, personally, in my religious beliefs, I don't need to buy this health insurance. I'm not going to use it. I don't feel like this is what I'm going to do. And I've got the religious freedom rights in the United States of America not to have to waste money or face a government fine for a product that I will not use. And that's exactly what these 5 individuals are claiming, and they're claiming that under their religious beliefs and under our existing law, the courts should not look into whether or not someone's belief is sincere or if this is some economic reason. It's enough alone that this is their belief, and we feel like that's a pretty strong challenge as well.
Well, Jordan Sekulow, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.